Like many of you, I have dove headfirst into playing Season of Discovery, and I am having a blast. I've been sinking 5+ hours a day, just trying to figure out different builds and play different characters, and over the weekend I was having a chat with a good friend of mine and just talking about how I kind of had this like warm, fuzzy feeling that you get when you play Season of Discovery.
But suddenly I feel all sweet and warm and fuzzy.
And I couldn't put my finger on what it is, but we discussed the topic for over a few hours, and I finally realized what it is. So in this video, I thought, why not talk about this one simple decision that I think Blizzard has done to make Season of Discovery so great in my opinion, and why I think it's a really good feature, and how I think Blizzard should not only hold on to this feature and use it for, more Seasons of Discovery stuff, but maybe even for retail as well. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Real quick before we get into things, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, so that way you guys are always notified when my latest videos drop. At BlizzCon 2023, they unveiled the next chapter of Classic WoW, and that was Season of Discovery. At the time, there was a ton of hype surrounding Classic Plus.
We are leaving the door open to the possibility of completely new experiences and the prospects of exploring previously unfinished or unused locales for future raid and dungeon content. We're starting at level 60. I know, I'm excited too.
And initially, when we did not get that, a lot of people were angry, myself included. Well, maybe I wouldn't say angry, that's not the right word. I'd say more like disappointed would be more accurate. However, once we got into the Classic deep dive and they unveiled their plans for Season of Discovery, it became pretty clear early on that this was kind of Classic Plus, or what I like to call Classic Minus. I think it's pretty obvious that Season of Discovery is a testing ground for Classic Plus. There's no way in hell that any sane game company would blindly allocate funds for a massive project like that, because again, Classic Plus is a huge commitment, which requires an actual team. You've got your developers, programmers, artists, etc. to pull off. I think there's a very good chance that we will see a fully fledged Classic Plus at some point, but for now, Season of Discovery will do just fine. So with Season of Discovery, we had gotten a ton of changes to Classic. We've got the new rune system, which allows you to gain new abilities, some from various WoW expansions, and others brand new to the game. They provide a new way to play Classic, and I think they are a huge success. Another massive change is converting the dungeon Blackfathom Depths into a 7-boss raid. Now, this is another really cool change in my opinion, and I think that the boss fights are pretty neat. Nobody is asking for any kind of game-changing boss fights, but I think at the very least, they should be challenging, but not too hard. And I think on that front, they're doing a really good job. I feel as if I had a kind of unrealistic expectation on what the development team of Classic was like. In my head, I kind of pictured it just being like a small group of people, maybe less than 10 people on their team, and I kind of figured that they were, not full-fledged game developers, maybe just a couple of coders, a couple of programmers or something like that. But anyways, after looking at Season of Discovery, it is very clear that they have a very competent team over there, and I think they are a really good group of people that I believe can pull off doing a lot more kind of in-depth stuff and be a really good crew to kind of spearhead Classic Plus. But anyways, not to get too off track here, on top of the changes with the rune system, we've also gotten the Ashenvale PvP event, which turned the entire zone into a makeshift Alterac Valley battleground. It's been a lot of fun and provides players a sort of endgame activity to do while we wait for the next phase. And I think it's really cool that it's just this huge kind of active PvP event, and that it also has the PvE elements in there as well. And another major feature of Season of Discovery is the level cap, which is locked at currently level 25. Not to pat myself on the back here, but if you were to ask any of my close circle of friends, whenever we get into these kind of long drawn out conversations about how you think Blizzard can fix the game, I've always been very vocal about the idea of a slowly increasing level cap over a fixed period of time. I've always thought that this would be a really great way to, slow down the player progression in Classic, but obviously we've never seen this before, or what it would actually look like, or test it until now. And boy am I glad, because in my opinion, I think it works out perfectly in Classic. So the big issue with Classic WoW and trying to capture that kind of same feeling that we got when we all first played vanilla was the sense of, not being in a rush to hit max level, to get to endgame, things like that, because let's be honest, back then times were different. We didn't have Wowhead or a bunch of guides on YouTube, videos explaining how to do things. That stuff was all relatively new. I think at that point we only had, Thoughtbot or Alakazam, and they were pretty rudimentary at that time. And I'm sure many of you agree, and lots of people have said this 100 times, that, the spirit of Classic is about the journey, not the destination. And I know we can say this a million times and just keep repeating ourselves about it, but when we actually play the game, everyone just reverts back to that, that mentality of just rush, 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 rush. Back then, people were just not as competitive as they are now. Heck, I think it took me a month or two to actually hit level 60 for the first time. And when I was playing the game back then, I was playing every single day after school until it was bedtime. When you look at Classic now, players rush to max level in a matter of weeks, and for a massive portion of the players, they're thinking about just getting to that end. They're not really thinking about, taking their time and relaxing. For an MMO to thrive, you need players in the world doing stuff at all levels. When the majority of your player base is all max level, you get what we have in retail. A bunch of players just AFK sitting in major cities not doing anything. With Blizzard adding the level cap, which is currently at 25, they have taken away a sense of that kind of like rushed feeling. I can't speak for you guys, but I personally feel it. I have lost that sense of, okay, I need to fly through Westfall and get done quickly as possible. Instead, I'm just questing on my own pace and working on other things while I level, like professions. The other really cool result of these level caps or phases in SOD is that it's going to slow down the flow of content. If you look at normal Classic servers, after a year, you've pretty much already burned through all the raids and players have cleared Nax and there's really nothing to do except raid log. In SOD, a year out, we're just going to be hitting 60. And what's crazy about this is that for the next couple of phases, if they all feel like this first one, then I think we're going to be in a really cool spot because, man, I just cannot wait for the next one. I'm not playing SOD currently thinking like, man, they need to hurry up and raise the level cap. I'm getting bored. It's more like, I'm excited to get ready for the next phase because the idea of, PvPing and STV is going to be really cool. And I can't wait to try out Gnomeregan, the raid, and see what that's all about. And it's already got me and my friends already speculating about what the next phase is going to look like and potentially what raids we're going to see next. Oh, and by the way, Blizzard, if you're watching this video and taking suggestions, BRD would make a great raid, or a couple of raids because of how many bosses are on BRD, which is 42. Holy shit. I could see BRD being multiple raids with just how many bosses are in there. That's kind of crazy. So I know that was kind of like a really long way of just basically saying, hey, the level cap is why I think SOD is doing so good right now. And it's kind of crazy because it's like a very simple thing that you really don't think about, but in reality, it's kind of like the glue that's holding everything together. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today, but before you take off, let me ask you this. Is there a single feature or system that is in Season of Discovery currently that you guys think is better than the others? Do you guys disagree with my take on this, or do you think I'm right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you again for watching my video. I'm still Solo, and I'll see you guys in the next one.